Chapter 1081. Beacon Top A-series villas are worth more than $100 million and are the most expensive villas in the entire Oris Hill city. For ordinary families, it is impossible to achieve it in a lifetime. For ordinary wealthy families, working hard in this life may still be a little bit possible. For the rich family, it takes 10 years of hard work to have the opportunity to live in such a villa. But for the Whale family, this kind of villa is just a drop in the bucket. Even if the Whale family is facing major difficulties now, for the Whale family, they have a value of hundreds of billions, and they don't care about a villa of more than 100 million. Moreover, Fury knew very well that this villa was bought by the Whale family for the Richard family, that is to say, it was not given to the Richard family. In this way, it would be equivalent to the Whale family buying a real estate, maybe 2 years later. The Whale family can make money even if this villa appreciates, so why not do it? So Fury nodded and said, "Since we are going to work together on major issues, I can still meet this small requirement. Let's do it. I will arrange my hands to inquire about 06 or 08 households. It does not matter if it is sold or not. I can buy it from the other party at a high price. After buying it, you can live in." The 5 members of the Richard family were suddenly excited. Especially Miachel, the look in the eyes of the lady was already worshipped. "I used to think that my mother was too old and might not be useful, but I didn't expect that." As expected, he was still hot when he complied with the old saying. "If you were to be yourself, just now I heard that the Whale family wanted to invest in the Richard family and help the Richard family to regain its strengths. And I would have bowed in excitement and thanks. But my mother was different." The lady calmly analyzed Fury's psychology, and as soon as she spoke, "She won a villa for the Richard family. Although I just lived in, I'm not sure how long I can live there, but isn't it just for nothing?" However, Mrs. Richard knew very well in her heart that since she was on the big ship of the Whale family, she must find a way to do more for herself. The villa cannot be given to oneself temporarily, but at least a certain commitment must be made to oneself on the length of residence. So she looked at Fury and said with a smile, "Mr. Whale, you are really too generous, but the lady, I have something to ask of you." Fury nodded and said lightly, "Just tell me, what's the matter?" Mrs. Richard said, "Mr. Whale, you see that I am a lot of years old. I guess I won't live for a few years. This old body can't stand the toss. If you let me live in Beacon Top First Villa today, you with a big wave, I killed Alex, wouldn't I have to move out tomorrow? After all, it is easy for a big man like you to kill the bastard Alex." A flattery made Fury feel happy. He looked at the lady and asked, "Do you want me to give you a promise for how long you will stay in this villa?" Mrs. Richard immediately gave a thumbs up, flattering, and said, "Sure enough, nothing can escape your glaring eyes, Mr. Whale. My lady is not a person who covets prosperity and wealth, but her body cannot withstand the toss and wants to live a little. So can you sign an agreement with us that the Beacon Top Villa will live for us for at least 10 years? After 10 years, whether the lady is still alive or not, the Richard family will move out as agreed." According to Mrs. Richard, 10 years is already a long time. After all, the property right of a house is only 70 years, and 10 years is equivalent to 1/7 of the consumption. A villa is worth more than 100 million at least, and 1/7 is almost 20 million. And I am already 80 this year, and I may not live for another 10 years.